What are the 9 things that you need to know when moving to Phoenix? This is a phenomenal list, one that you don't want to miss. So, wait, did that just rhyme? Interesting. So guys, we're gonna be dropping some knowledge here in just a few seconds, so stay tuned. Hey guys, this is Kelly Cook. I am your Phoenix, Arizona real estate specialist, and this is my YouTube channel, Everything Phoenix. Thanks for joining. We really appreciate it. We will not waste your time. We are going to give you specific information about our town, Phoenix, Arizona, and why we love it so much. And today we have those top 9 things that you need to know if you're gonna move to Phoenix, okay? And as always, we're gonna stop bottom up. So we are going to go from 9 to 10 to hold your interest and have a little drum roll at the end for number 1. But first, guys, as always, feel free to give us a call at our number here at 888-KCREG11. That's Kelly Cook Real Estate Group. So 888-527-3411. You can text or call any time of day or night. You can also comment below. We'd love to hear your comments. We will reply to those. And as always, guys, smash that subscribe button, like us, ring that notification bell. We are putting out new videos twice a week, every week, for you to keep informed on what's going on here in the Phoenix area, okay? You can also email at info@kellycookhomes.com. Now, what are those 9 things that you need to know? Here we go. Number 9, car registration. Okay. Now, car registration, you probably hear a lot about this if you watch any videos or done any research on Arizona at all. It is more expensive to register your car than most states in Arizona. So don't let that be a shock to you. In fact, the calculation is it's about $2.80 for a new car per $100. So 2.8%. For used cars, it's 2.89%. So if you're gonna buy a car that's around $30,000, you're looking at a 1-year registration in the ballpark of about $870 for that 1 year, okay? And then from there, it does tail off at about 16% decline per year off that number, which is nice because they take into the fact that it's a depreciating asset, most likely, okay? Now, the cool thing that you may not know about cars, buying cars, selling cars in Arizona is that we have a cool little tax law that if in fact you buy your house from a private party and not the dealer, you actually owe 0 sales tax. That's a pretty sweet deal. So a lot of people won't go buy cars in Arizona from a dealer. They will shop and shop and shop with a private party through Craigslist or whatever it is, because if they buy a car through a private party, they don't have to pay any tax on that car. And right now in the city of Phoenix and most suburbs where that dealership may be located, you're looking at a sales tax of around 8.3% all in. So that's quite a chunk of change that you can save to the tune of several thousands of dollars if you do buy from a private party. So keep that in mind if you're gonna buy a car here in Phoenix, okay? Now on to number 8. The 8th reason or thing that you need to know about moving to Phoenix, Arizona is that this is the desert. Duh, okay, I know you know that, but this actually is the Sonoran Natural Desert, okay? One of the few deserts in the entire world that actually have cacti, saguaros. That's a very pretty landscape, guys, but it is hot. And with the desert, you have certain creepy crawlies and things of that nature and animals that aren't located in the wild in most other states across the country, okay? For example, coyotes. Coyotes are a real thing, okay? They can be dangerous for your pets. Now, they're not gonna attack humans, but they do travel in packs and they do like small pets, unfortunately, guys. So if you have a small dog, a cat, cats are pretty quick, but you really have to watch out for coyotes even when they're in the backyard, because even if you have a block wall fence that's about 6 feet tall, coyotes can jump over those, and they will, and get in your backyard if you're not paying attention to your small dog, okay? So that's something to be aware of. You also have javelina. What are those? Wild pigs. Yes, we have wild pigs in the desert, and they are nasty little things, okay? Some of those are actually big, to the tune of probably about 2 or 3 feet tall in some cases, okay? They travel in packs, they're just little husk, and I mean, just Google a picture of the javelina, it's, but you wanna stay away from those, and they typically don't bother humans. They have really bad eyesight, right? And they usually travel at night, and so, you know, they may not see you, but they hear you, and then they can, if they're threatened, attack. So you have to be aware of javelina. I know, pigs and coyotes, who would have thought, right? But this is the desert, okay? And then you also have scorpions, rattlesnakes, black widow spiders, brown ruculus, or ruclose, however you want to pronounce that. But those are obviously poisonous spiders. Not a lot of that happening around. You don't hear that happening very often. What is more common is there are scorpions. Now, scorpions typically live in the more mountainous areas, okay? Or in areas where the ground is being tilled up, maybe a new construction community before it settles back down, things of that nature. And scorpions can be killed. They can be treated. You want to have pest control come out on a regular basis, and you want to have your house sealed, ideally, to keep those scorpions out as best as possible. You want to eliminate their food source. Crickets are the number one food source. You eliminate crickets with pest control, you're probably going to eliminate the scorpions, which is a very good thing. And then rattlesnakes, guys, you don't see them very often. I've seen 3 or 4 in my entire life down here in the Arizona desert, but they are out there. You have to be cognizant and aware of them when you go into maybe on hikes or if you hit a really bad golf shot. I know, you probably never have, but I have actually all the time, and I'm in the desert hacking away trying to find a ball most of the time, so I gotta be aware of rattlesnakes, okay? Okay, the 7th thing that you need to know about when you're moving to Phoenix, Arizona are pools, okay? Pools, well, what's the big deal with pools? All right, number 1, it's the desert. It's really, really hot in the summertime. Guys, you will most likely want a pool or have access to a pool, okay? But only about half the homes down here have pools, believe it or not. It's a little bit over half, but about half have pools. Now, it's much more costly to put a pool in after the fact than it is to buy a house with a pool, because the average pool right now used to start around $30,000 to $35,000 for a play pool that's free forming. Now, that same pool is running around $50,000 because the cost of materials and labor have increased dramatically across the entire country and in Arizona as well. So, if you can buy that pool with the house, it's much more advantageous because you can roll that cost of that pool right into your loan, your mortgage, right, at 3 to 4% on your mortgage, and voila, you know, you have a pool that's already subsidized, rolled into your mortgage and financed, okay? Because a lot of people just don't have $30,000 to $50,000 to $70,000 laying around they want to use just to put in a pool if they find a house. Now, that being said, current interest rates play a big role into that in terms of the value you get with a pool. A lot of people make the argument that, you know, if you buy the house with the pool, enjoy it for yourself because as an investment, it's not great. And while there is some truth to that, it does matter what segment of the market and where the interest rates currently are when that happens, okay? What I mean by that is if the interest rates are higher, then the value of your pool will shrink. It may only be worth about $10,000 to $12,000 to $15,000 on an appraisal, as an example, okay? However, if the rates are really low, in the high 2s, low 3s, mid 3s, up to 4%, that value of that pool does become a lot greater. In fact, I would argue from a supply and demand standpoint, you're looking at dollar for dollar on that pool in that scenario. Again, why? Because people can finance that pool right into the mortgage. So they will actually sometimes buy the house that's not the perfect fit for them because they really want a pool and that house has a pool. So they'll pay more for it as opposed to the house that maybe is better fit, doesn't have a pool. I don't have $50,000 just to put in a new pool, so I'm gonna go ahead and go over here and buy that one. Does that make sense? So there is some value to have that pool when you purchase a house with one of those pools, okay? And pool care, guys, it's not that expensive. You're talking $80 to $100 a month for full service, chemicals, and everything, cleaning, the whole 9 yards here in Arizona. Okay, moving on to number 6. The 6th thing that you need to be aware of when moving to Arizona is the commute times. Guys, Arizona is extremely spread out, okay? It's one of the largest cities in the entire country from a square mile standpoint. Everything is spread out. There's a running joke in Phoenix that everything's about 20 minutes away. You wanna go to the barbershop? It's a 20-minute drive. You wanna go to the grocery store? 20-minute drive. Things of that nature. Right now, it's not always the case, but that's the running joke because everything is just so spread out. So, you may want to have a fuel-efficient vehicle. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go buy an electric car, okay? You very well could stick with that gas car, but instead of having that gas car that gets you, 9 miles a gallon, that BMW M5, let's say, maybe you go with a car that has 20 to 22 miles per gallon because that's gonna save you a lot of money in the long term, especially if you're gonna be living in Phoenix for quite a while. So that's something to very much so consider when living in Phoenix because chances are you will be driving quite a bit. Now, transportation is actually very nice in Phoenix. There's a grid system that is built upon, which makes it very efficient to get around town. That's another topic for another conversation, but nonetheless, commute time will be a decent amount of time and you will spend some time in the car. Now, when it comes to electric vehicles, Phoenix has a ton of electric vehicles. In fact, according to the U.S. Department of energy, Phoenix or Arizona as a state is the 6th highest state that has the most electric vehicles that are on the road, okay? So you have California number 1, obviously a lot more population there, and that's where Tesla's located, and so on and so forth. But Arizona's number 6. So it is built out to have the supercharger stations. A lot of the parking garages have supercharged stations, right? So that you can plug in while you're shopping or maybe at work at the office. Office buildings have them too. So it's very electric car friendly state. So if you're thinking about maybe getting an electric car to ride around Phoenix, which is not a bad idea, perfect state for that, okay? Moving on to number 5. Number 5 is the cost of utilities. Guys, utilities in Phoenix, they are actually not that bad, ranked right about the national average for other states or metropolitan areas across the country. Now, because we have a lot of sunshine, solar is huge down here, okay? Huge. Now, does every house have solar? They don't. Not even close, actually. Believe it or not, that is trending upwards every single year. It's getting more popular and popular. And the reason why solar is such a big aspect that you may want to consider is because you're able to lock in, if you're on a 20-year lease or maybe a 20-year purchase contract, maybe it's prepaid, maybe it's not, but if you buy a house with solar, you have basically locked in your portion of your electricity costs for the next 20 years, which is awesome. So if the electric company decides to raise the rates, the part that you are affected in terms of the kilowatt hour usage, things of that nature, are only on the part that is above and beyond what your solar system already produces, okay? So that is huge. So consider strongly getting a solar system or buying a house with one. It is a big plus when living here in Arizona. And guys, also homes down here are built very energy efficient. All the windows are low E for the most part. For most of the homes, you have higher rated R38 insulation, at least R30, and things of that nature, right? You have the blown in foam on the exterior walls and in the attic in a lot of the houses down here. So there's ways to maintain and minimize your utility cost. And if you're building a brand new house, there are plenty of ways to do that. And with the options you select, we can help you with that and walk you through that when you go to the builders down here. We're very familiar with that, guys. And if you're buying a resale house, there are things you can do to retrofit your house to make it much more energy efficient, guys. Your bill will spike a lot in the summertime because, again, it's the desert, it's hot, right? However, the electric companies down here, SRP and APS, do allow you to have a monthly equalizer plan. What that basically does for you is it allows you to take your average cost throughout the year from the year prior and then divide it by 12 and equalize that throughout the year, so that way you can have the same monthly payment every single year if you're on a budget or a fixed income, which is very nice, okay? Okay guys, the 4th thing that you need to know when moving to Phoenix is the food scene, guys. The food scene is amazing. I'm not Italian, but I'm Irish and English, but that just works for this reason, okay? This thing right here, because the food scene in Phoenix, guys, is extremely underrated. It is phenomenal. Now, my favorite is the Mexican food down here. The authentic Mexican food, so good. We had Taco Tuesday at my house almost every single week. I hope you do too, because if you're not, you're missing out, okay? But the food scene is awesome. There is almost every single type of food down here in the Phoenix that you could possibly want, from Middle Eastern food to Mexican food to Italian food and so on and so forth, Asian food. So the food scene is very, very robust down here in Phoenix. And the cool thing is, because of the weather, many times the restaurants are set up from an ambient standpoint to have that indoor-outdoor dining feel, which is awesome, especially for 7 to 8 months out of the year. It's really, really cool. The service people in Arizona, I gotta tell you, they're pretty darn good. Very friendly by nature. And so when you come down here to go out to eat and have some good food in Phoenix, you're gonna have a good experience, okay? That's reason number 4. Okay guys, we're getting down now to the top 3. It's getting exciting. And the 3rd thing that you need to be aware of when moving to Phoenix is that Arizona has a lot of options when it comes to the school system. All right, so if you have kids, this one is for you. Now, it's no secret that Arizona, on the public school system side, they don't have the best ratings, okay, generally speaking. We consistently ranked in the bottom 10 of the top 50 on that list. However, there are some really good public school systems. It's just niche, okay, and certain suburbs and communities. So you gotta do your research. Just name a few. You got the Scottsdale Unified School District, the Paradise Valley Unified School District, the Kyrene School District down in Chandler. There's some really good ones, guys. However, there's a lot of options when it comes to private schools, charter schools, traditional schools. Charter and traditional schools are publicly funded, yet act like a private school. And there's other private schools which are just that. They're private, so therefore you have to pay your own money to send your child there. They have basis. There are Catholic private schools, Christian private schools, and so on and so forth. And here's a real cool thing. Arizona has this thing called the Arizona Private School tuition tax credit, all right? And what that allows you to do is to donate part of your state income tax that you owe the state government anyway to pay for a student's education at a private school. Pretty cool, right? And here's the limits, guys. Right now in 2020, it was $2,365 if you're a joint filed couple. And if you're individual, it's $1,183, again, for that individual. Now, 2021, it has gone up. It's $2,435 for a joint filed couple to donate money towards this. And it's $1,219 as an individual. Pretty cool, guys. So what that means is if you don't have a child that goes to a private school, but you want to help fund tuition for someone that you know that goes to a private school, you can take part of your state tax dollars that would go to the state government anyways and redirect it to pay for that kid's private school and education. Pretty darn cool. So keep that in mind, and that's a really cool reason, and that's why it's number 3. Okay, guys, that brings us to number 2. All right, number 2, that reason or that thing that you need to know of when moving to Phoenix is housing, okay? Housing's a big one, right? Why? Well, because housing is most likely going to be your largest expense when it comes to cost of living here in Phoenix. So therefore, you should know certain things like what's the average or median price point for the area you want to live. Right now, I can tell you that the median price point in all of Maricopa County, which is almost the entire greater Phoenix, Arizona area, is $358,000 as a median, okay? But if you want to be in Scottsdale, it's going to be more. If you want to be in Chandler, it's going to be more than that as well. If you want to be in Surprise, it's going to be around that number, if not a little less. In certain areas in Buckeye and all across the valley, obviously as you go to certain suburbs as well as neighborhoods within those suburbs, price changes dramatically. And that's where the local real estate expert like yours truly can come into play to help you and guide you to make that best decision for whatever the lifestyle is that you are looking to live. And that brings me to just that, lifestyle, guys. There is so many different things down here in Phoenix that they have to offer, not just things to do, right? Outdoor lifestyle, indoor lifestyle, entertainment, the culture, the arts, things of that nature. But when it comes to being around a certain nucleus of an area in which it thrives on maybe horseback riding or whatever it is that you want to do, right? Swimming, diving, whatever. And so whatever that is for yourself or your kids, your family, we can guide you to that area. You want to know where the men's water polo league is? I can tell you, and therefore if you want to be within a 5 or 10 minute drive from that, we'll hook you up, okay? That kind of niche things that we know about Phoenix that we can help you out with. So by the way, water polo, that's a workout. I don't play it very often, but man, one time I did and sorry, I digress, all right? Squirrel! But anyways, we're back to the housing. Guys, and so let us know what you're looking for and we'll help you find the right fit for you or your family and the lifestyle that you're looking to live. I've been here since 2004. I'm originally from Omaha, Nebraska. Came down here and actually played in the Fiesta Bowl in 1999 and fell in love with the desert climate. And sure enough, 5 years later, I found myself back here living permanently in Phoenix. So have stayed ever since and absolutely love it, guys. All right, number 1. Are you ready? The number 1 thing that you need to know when moving to Phoenix is probably not something that you're going to be thinking I'm going to say, but it's so true, guys, and it's actually pretty common. It's your chance to reinvent yourself. That's right, guys. Arizona has about 10 to 12% of its population being natives to Phoenix, Arizona. What does that mean? That means that most people who live here currently today did not grow up in Phoenix, Arizona. They came from other states down to Phoenix. So it's kind of like a melting pot. I remember when I first came here in 2004, going to Arizona Cardinals games, the football team, right, at the college stadium for ASU, because they didn't even have their own permanent stadium yet. They played Pittsburgh or they played New York, the New York Giants or whoever, the Dallas Cowboys. There would be more fans for the other team than Arizona at the time. Now, Arizona wasn't that good back then, right? We've come a long ways. We're really proud of our football team now. But back then, the point is there is a lot of people, a lot of transients and people who have planted themselves down in Arizona who grew up elsewhere in the country. It's a great place for that, guys. So many times when people are growing up, they have a certain lifestyle, right? As a teenager or maybe a college kid or even a young professional. And sometimes, guys, to grow, you got to get out of your comfort zone and to get away from the people that you grew up with because it may not be a positive influence for you. It could be, but it may not be. And if that's you right now and you're looking to possibly make a move, there's a little voice in the back of your head saying, yeah, that's me. I should probably get away. I'm not doing what I should be doing with my life. I want to do more, whatever it is. Could you do that in the place you're at currently? Of course you could, but it's a lot easier as an excuse to get away from those people in that environment to just leave it, right? And if you do, come to Arizona. Phoenix, we'll help you out. We'll get you settled. This is a great place to do it in because the vast majority of people here are just like you, right? Natives are becoming a more and more increasing segment of population because Phoenix is becoming a more and more established city now. It's growing like crazy. And so a lot of people are who grew up here, starting to stay. Again, there's still a lot of transplants guys from other parts of the country. So if you want to reinvent yourself, come to Phoenix, Arizona, and I promise you'll have a great time in doing so. All right, guys, thank you for watching our video. That concludes our top 9 reasons as to why, or 9 reasons you should move here, but also 9 things you need to know if you do want to move here, or if you already live here and you just want to know more about Phoenix. Now you have your top 9 reasons according to us. Guys, if you want to reach out to us for any other questions, we would love to chat with you. You can reach us at any time at 888-KCREG11. That's 888-527-3411. You can text, call, leave a comment below, ring the notification bell. Guys, we're putting out videos every single week, 2 of them a week, because we absolutely love and we're passionate about informing and educating people about our city, Phoenix, Arizona, and helping them any way possible if they're looking to buy real estate, sell real estate, or invest in real estate. Guys, it's a great market to invest in, right? Low property taxes, more cash flow for you if you're an investor. Okay, give us a call. We would love to chat with you about that, okay? You can email info@kellycookhomes.com. We are helping people all the time, calling us up around the country, guys. Absolutely passionate about it, love it, and love to help you as well. Until next time, guys, look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye.